Josh,
Banks, odd places going
viral.
viral. Josh, are you in public right now?
Semi-public.
Yeah. What is public?
Not private.
Okay, so it's private. Don't say not public.
You beat me to it. What is public? I think it's intention. So private is not intended for anyone else to see. Public is anything outside of that sphere.
All right, so are you private with your wife?
Sometimes.
All right, so she is, or is that public? Is that public with your wife? I don't, because you said,
Sometimes I'm public with her. Sometimes I'm private. Yeah.
okay. So when you're private, you can be private with other people, or you can be private just by yourself, right?
Not too private with other people. She'd have an issue with that. But yes, I could be private.
Okay, okay, but in general, you can be private with a bunch of people, or one person, or by yourself. So the range. So are we becoming a world that is less private?
Yes, we are. And by choice.
Okay. What do you mean?
We are giving up our privacy on purpose. We're selling our privacy.
Okay, so when you say selling, you're talking about Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, and I don't mean selling for money. I mean, we're selling our privacy for ego.
So explain how ego is a part of it.
Well, ego in the sense of our self-worth and how we see ourselves. We're selling our privacy for likes, for being popular.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, some of us are. Are you?
Probably. I'm a whore like that. I sell
Really?
whatever I can.
You're an entrepreneur, right?
I'm an entrepreneur whore.
Yeah. So entrepreneur. So I'm talking to a friend of mine, close friend of mine, and he throws stuff on Facebook. You know what he's eating, what he's making to eat, what is he, what project he's working on, and he throws out his life out to the world to see. And I asked him one time, I said, why do you do that? I mean, I never really check the likes or loves or hearts or whatever. Hugs, hearts. And he said, thanks, I'm doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for anybody else. And I thought, okay, all right. I kind of like that philosophy. And that's the kind of philosophy that I'm going to do. I'm going to throw stuff out there in all facets of life, in the town square, when I talk, on social media. And I mean, unless I want to monetize, then I've got to find a way to monetize it. If I don't, if I just do it just because I want to share, I'm cool with it. So I don't think I'm a whore in that regard. I used to think I might have been. Boy, was that a
little
indefinite? That was indefinite. It wasn't. That was not defined at all.
Been whorish. Yeah.
Yeah. So why then do you feel you have to be a whore?
Oh, I don't have to be. Nobody has to be. It's just fun. But that's besides. So what part of your friend, he says he's doing it for himself.
Yeah.
What part of himself? Is he doing it for pride? Is he doing it for ego? Is he doing it for self-validation?
All right, let's make this about me, okay? Because I'm not sure. I don't have an answer for that. I do know, I do have an answer for myself. Some people have hobbies. Flying airplanes is a hobby, right?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
So I'm told.
Golfing is a hobby. So my point is, my hobby is, what if my hobby is connecting? What if my hobby is sharing? What if my hobby is uh, um, yeah, doing that?
Okay, I guess that could be a hobby. That's interesting way of putting it.
Would that be egotistical? I mean, would you say that, oh my God, you're doing this, you're throwing so much stuff out, you're throwing so much content out, you must want the attention? Oh, okay. Is that it? Is that the question? Would it be like, hey, you want the attention?
Maybe. Well, the same thing. Like, why if you're golfing because you're competitive. Maybe you enjoy being out in the open air. There's a lot of
Mhm.
reasons why people golf. It's peaceful,
All
right?
right.
Question is
Okay.
why. What is it? What is posting about your life do for you? On posting about it on social media and sharing. What does it do for you?
Okay. So, I mean, it is business oriented. So
Okay.
mine is less personal, more business, and business in the sense of maybe awareness. Maybe it's awareness. Maybe it's, hey, I've got this function. Come to the function. You'll love it.
So you're
Um,
like you are being whorish. You're selling yourself. It's okay. Let's go whoring, baby. Let's go. I'm
let's
ready.
go, Oren. Um, uh, you're right. I do want something out of it. I mean, I do. There is a minute horror aspect. Well, maybe there's a bigger minute, a big, gigantic horror
Big
aspect to
idea.
it. And I- yeah. I'm trying to get people. I'm trying to persuade, influence people. That's what I'm trying to do.
There you go. See, doesn't that feel good just to admit it?
Yeah, I mean, well, let's say 30 years ago, the line between public and private was much farther. I mean, there was a much smaller public and there was a much larger private. Now I feel that the private has just become, I'm going to show everybody everything. Hey, have you seen my wart? Hey, let me show you my wart here.
Yeah, now our privates have become public. Everyone's showing off their privates. It's really what's happening.
Hey, that was a wart. It wasn't a private. Okay, it was a wart. That's all it was.
But
Um,
hey, that was private until now.
why are we doing this? Why are we?
Why are we whoring? Well,
Yeah. No. I'm talking private public thing. Why are we more public now?
that's a good question. Maybe it's easier. Maybe it's a distraction. Maybe we're trying to find validation outside of ourselves. Maybe that's what's going on.
So 30 years ago, you don't think we had that? We didn't need the validation outside
But
ourselves.
we didn't have the opportunity to validate. We didn't have the stage on which to get validation from others. So we had to find it in ourselves. We had to actually develop it and build it. Now we have a stage. Everyone's got a microphone. And it's a lot easier to try and find validation outside of us than it is to build our self-identity and our worth inside of us.
Let's go there. How do we build validation inside of us? How do we do that? The hard part.
We have to challenge ourselves constantly to grow. We have to do the stuff that's hard, not the stuff that's easy. It's easy to post on a video on social media and show the best 5 minutes of your day. Hey, look, everything's going perfect these 5 minutes, and then have an entirely shitty rest of your day. That's the easy stuff. The hard stuff is focusing on what's really going on, the truth, and working to better your situation.
Mhm.
Basically, social media is faking it. We're basically we're fake whores. We're not even real whores. We're
Yeah,
faking our
I'm
whorism.
not. I'm not going to give the responsibility or the blame to social media. No, it's us. We have done this. We have taken
Absolutely.
this new tool and we have decided, hey, I'm going to validate myself by having 2,432 friends,
Yeah.
and I'm going to post the best 5 days of my best 5 days of my life. The I think. So you think people are getting the easy way out? They're. Don't we do this though as humans? Don't we try to do the easy way out? I mean, in anything.
Yes. Yeah, in general.
So why
But
is it easy?
it's become so easy. It's become too easy. I think we've made it too easy, and that's why we're suffering.
And you say suffering in the sense of we're lonely and we're sad and we're depressed more and we're
Yeah, because in nature, we still work to make things easy, don't we? We try and make water go where we want it to go. We try and make things easier, but nature still makes us pay a price no matter what. There's always a price to pay.
well, that's called science. That's called gravity. That's called the elements of the world of the earth that we're dealing with. Um, I don't look at it as paying a price. We just need to learn how nature works and then just work with that. Um,
It's a great concept.
yeah. All right. I'm Banks.
I'm not surprised, and I'm Josh.
Odd places going
Viral.
viral.